Hello, and welcome to the Decent Dudes podcast, episode 2. We are the Decent Dudes. Over to my left, we have Manny, Josh, and I am your host, Isaac. We have some guests. So, on my right, we have Joel, the soldier. We have Sol. He is the tall one,
also known as the BFG.
and he is a YouTuber. And on our very right, we have
Ruben, and despite his obvious physical disadvantages, he's great at cricket. He's decent at cricket, sorry.
Yeah, he is very decent at cricket. Okay, so the other night, what did we watch?
Lord of the Rings.
Ruben and Sol, have you seen Lord of the Rings before?
We have not. Never.
Well, you have now. Okay, let's start with Ruben. Ruben, what did you think of Lord of the Rings, having not seen it before?
I'd heard a lot about Lord of the Rings, but watching for the very first time, I thought it was an absolute blast. Every single movie improved. The last one being The Return of the King, that was absolutely fantastic. Enjoyed it more than whatever I thought I was going to be.
Sol, is there anything that stood out to you in Lord of the Rings? Is there anything like that any impressions that you had beforehand? Like maybe you had this impression and then you watched and it was a bit different.
Yeah, so there was one part with there wasn't a character in it, which I thought there would be. But apart from that, it was phenomenal. Best movies I've seen. 100%.
Was that Tom Bombadil?
It was.
Anything from you guys about Lord of the Rings?
I think it's just a very decent film, to be honest. All set of films, free, big boys, they're pretty good, yeah. I'd say.
They really hit home.
Like, who would you say is your favourite characters? I think that's a cool thing to say.
Legolas.
Legolas is definitely the most handsome character.
Why do you think I chose him?
And what about Gollum, man? He's pretty handsome.
Gollum being my favourite character. So.
I don't know, man. I thought Aragorn's pretty handsome,
The jawline, that jawline on Aragorn was crazy.
You look a bit like Aragorn, Isaac.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Ruben, I heard that you'd actually watch Rings of Power before you watched Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I watched The Rings of Power. I thought they were absolutely insane. And then I watched Lord of the Rings, and my view on The Rings of Power slightly went down. Didn't really appreciate them as much anymore, but Lord of the Rings took place.
Yeah, I think it's like a solid show, but I feel like quite controversial. But I think that elves, I feel like they have too much humanity in the Rings of Power, and they're sort of like ethereal and like elegant and like higher than the humans. But now we see, exactly. But yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion.
I'm just thinking what Noah Gomez is thinking. He's gonna be really upset with you, Joel.
It's still a great show.
Disclaimer, it's still a great show.
Backtracking real quick there.
Yeah, Joel, you've seen Barbie before. What do you think of Barbie?
Oh my goodness.
On the topic of,
Yeah. So it's an absolute banging film. I have a little bit of a story about that. So I watched on release day at 10 a.m. on my own. So I went there with my purple t-shirt on my own, went to the back of the cinema, tons of girls there, little kids. I was like the one older dude in there. It felt so wrong. I was just sitting in the back. I was sitting in the back and I was just chilling there. And bro, it's a great film. I teared up, I'm not going to lie. It's a great film. Like that one scene when the Billie Eilish song comes on. And I was like, yeah. And then straight afterwards, literally, no break at all, went straight to see Oppenheimer, which had just started as I was walking in. And I watched that back to back, and that was good as well. And I didn't have any lunch, which was annoying, but got a meal deal later, so.
I've seen the first half an hour of Barbie, and I don't recommend.
Could you not finish it?
No, it was too bad.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Okay, back to Lord of the Rings then. What would you rate it out of 10? Or how would it compare to other movies that you've seen?
Comparing to most movies I've seen, I would give it a solid 9.3.
Yeah, 10 for me. 10 for me.
Ruben, how could we raise it to a 10?
How could you raise it to a 10? I think the ending's the best. The ending's absolutely fantastic. I think the first film is the weakest one. If you improve that, you improve the series.
What's bad about the first film then? Like,
I just think the plot kind of twists a bit too much. It goes a bit all over the place. If it had been more directed, it'd been cooler. But I'm not complaining. It's fantastic.
What I like about it is the way it just goes into the actual theme instantly. And any of the film you watch, they'll have loads of introductions, but it just goes straight in. And that's one of the best bits about it. And the CGI is phenomenal.
Oh man, you didn't ask me, but I thought it was a 10 out of 10 until I watched Barbie, and yeah, so I'm just
On that note, let's move on. I think we're doing a giveaway. Are we going to reveal the prize, or shall we reveal the prize at the end?
I think we should leave it till the end.
I agree.
So they're competing.
Leave the prize to the end. Do we give them the question now?
I'd say so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The question to determine who wins the giveaway is, who spent the most on food last night?
We went out to a Weatherspoons.
Weatherspoons.
One of
My
us,
first time.
one of us had about double the amount of plates of everyone else.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. Guess who that was?
Yeah, so just think about that.
With a deep, deep thought. Deep.
Yeah, we want to hear your answers in the comments. So keep them rolling.
Put them in the comments. Only one guess per person. So if you can't guess loads of people, you have to guess one person.
So have a good think about it. If you get it wrong, you don't get anything.
You may lose our respect as well. Okay, let's move on to some juicy topics now. So the first question we have, or the first topic we have is, Manny, I'm going to ask this one to you. How are we influenced by social media?
It's a very broad question. I'd say we tend to spend when we consume social media, it tends to be in our free time. So a lot of the time when we're sort of least on guard and we're relaxing, will be the times when we pick up the most stuff in a way, because you're not really thinking about guarding yourself, or you're not really thinking as much about what you're taking in because you're relaxed, you're chilling. So that tends to be when people consume social media, when we go on, Instagram, when we check on messages, when we get caught in watching reels, or all you young ones out there who get caught reel scrolling, doom scrolling. So I think it influences us more than we realize because of that, because it's when we least think about it. Just have a think about like the sorts of things you're consuming when you do go on social media. For you guys watching, I would say a lot of what we consume is like, it's like American media, because the media is sort of dominated by America at the moment. So like a lot of the sort of trends that are going on in the USA right now, and a lot of these sort of ideas and even agendas, even, subtle ideologies, if we're not careful, we sort of tend to consume them without thinking too much about it, because they're sort of ingrained in a lot of the media that we see, because America kind of dominates the social media scene. So so it does influence us probably more than we realize, and not always in a good way necessarily. But then it depends a lot on what you consume and the sort of topics that you look at, and how much time you spend on it, and all that sort of thing. So, but it can be used. It can be very helpful as well if you use social media in the right way, keeping up with friends, actually exploring like theology, for example, or science, or if you're doing a school topic, maybe researching into that. So it has its uses. You just have to be very careful about how you use that, and the amount of time you spend doing it, and your attitude towards what you're consuming and what you're seeing.
Yeah, I think it's a good point what you said about it. You doing it in your free time. I think, however, like more and more these days, it's become something that you do like even if you're at work, like even like 2 seconds of just checking your Instagram or
Yeah.
you know, checking Facebook and going on reels, like that's becoming like a part of life. And it's not really a part of life that I particularly like. Like I don't think any of us actually particularly enjoy scrolling on Instagram. It's just something that you do as a habit, and I think in a way like that's a really unhealthy thing. But also you can pick up some good stuff from it as well. Like, you know, we all watch Cliff Next or whatever. I can't pronounce his name. Connect, no, yeah.
Yeah.
But like he's got some really good stuff. But at the same time, like you can even use what like the reels that he puts out as a way of wasting time. So it's kind of helpful.
That's a really good point. It's because it's very often like the thing that we go to in our downtime, like to relax. In order to relax, it can sort of catch us off guard in that way. So I think maybe that's probably a negative thing. I think that is a negative thing when it's like our go-to when we want to relax, when we want to turn off. That's our go-to thing, and that becomes a habit, and then it's very easy to unintentionally consume things that are unhealthy, or sort of take on ideologies or ideas or just unhelpful content, really.
Okay, so just quickly, what do you think we should do with our free time? Let's take like 2 minutes on this. What do you think we could do with our free time instead of going on social media and scrolling and stuff? What's a good thing to do? Sol, you're looking like you desperately want to say something. Let's go to you.
I'd say give your free time to the Lord, because He is the most important thing in your life. Whether that's reading the Bible, whether that's praying, just as long as you're giving it to Him, that's the most important thing to do.
I think personally I can't really comment because I watch reels like it's a second job. But so, I mean, all bad things. I mean, actually, no, that's totally not right. But I think in moderation, social media is all right. So, I mean, I actually do find myself enjoying watching reels, but I know that I shouldn't be spending all of my free time doing that. So even though there are good stuff like Cliff and like Christian reels and stuff like that, I definitely don't think it outweighs all of the rot that's on there. But yeah.
What the stigma?
I would say if you're trying to find something to fill your spare time, find something you're passionate about, find something that you're skilled in, because God's given us all skills. He's provided and put things in our lives that we are very good at. So to find those things, go out into nature, practice sports if you're interested in sports, go on walks, read books, because there's a lot of stuff in books that, there's been written over the last 2,000 years, and it's got a lot of intellectual stuff in there. So getting into stuff like that. And yes, I say books, not books. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I think free time is really important to control, because like Manny said, we normally go on social media when we're not doing anything. So like for me, when I'm like busy, I will normally not go on social media so much. But when I've got like a really free day or like a free week or whatever, that's the times I normally go on it a lot. So I think just like controlling your free time is like super important. So like getting things that are actually important to do, doing that in your free time, so you're not spending it on social media.
Yeah, I think like from a Christian perspective, you're not exactly putting yourself in a good position. So for example, David started being lazy and he ended up killing 5 people. I'm not saying that we're going to end up killing people, but yeah, just to put that in perspective.
Yeah, I think my take on it is that you can, spend time on your phone or whatever, texting people, but also it's good to build yourself up and to build people up around you, for example, by reading books that can improve you, like in so many different ways, because you can put that into practice and it improves your literature, it improves your reading, it improves all sorts of things. And you can also, have a hobby, you can work out, get yourself fit, and it's like there's so many different things that you can do to build yourself up. We're going to move on now to a slightly different topic, or a slightly different question, but I think it's quite similar. So the question is, are we too influenced by America culturally and politically? And I think the sort of thing that this ties in with is TikTok. I think the influence of TikTok has given rise to Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the question. Jack, Jack of all trades, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Isaac.
Do you want to open that question? Do you want to start with that question? Are we too influenced by America, culturally and politically?
I would say yes, generally. And part of this is to do with what Manny was speaking of earlier. Social media being mostly dominated by America. And how we consume a lot of that information in a more vulnerable state and being more influenced by it. So, yes, generally, I would say we are too influenced by American culture through social media, I would say mostly. And, yeah.
Very good. Anyone from this side of the table want to respond to that?
I mean, I can see how in the UK, fairly recently, a lot of the sort of trends and the American culture, I guess, generally has sort of spread to the UK, and I would say that's definitely through social media. Other forms as well, movies and stuff, but all like media that we would consume online. And so that sort of tells you a lot about how much we are influenced by America, because it's very obvious to see that. So yeah, I would say I would agree with Jack. Really, I think we are very influenced by America.
And I think also, like, if you look on the news and all the news is about like American, American politics. Like, it's all about Trump, Harris, 2024.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see who we think will win, but we might that might be a bit political for some people. And also just with things like laws, like the sort of laws that we have in the UK, I think we tend to copy the US because the US is seen as sort of the big Western power, and I think the UK has almost lost a bit of its identity in that sort of way.
Yeah.
So, for example, when it comes to something like freedom to carry guns, it'd be interesting, like the influence that America has on other places, because America's like the one place that allow you to carry guns in the West, and if they they're kind of trying to shut that down, I guess. So what do we think about that freedom to carry guns?
Oh man, I feel like if the public are allowed to carry guns, it's reflected in the police as well. They're allowed to carry guns. Like in America, all the police are allowed to carry guns. So I think ultimately it causes more destruction. So like certain police officers in the UK carry guns, but that is for very specialist situations where it's extremely needed. Whereas you're probably always going to need a gun in America as a police officer, because that's always, something that you might be facing. So I don't think it's a good law personally.
So it like makes everything more dangerous with sort of everyone carrying guns. It just escalates the situation, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can partially understand, because America in some terms can be a lot more violent and you need to defend yourself. But then again, no one should be violent in that way and or threaten anyone. So I don't agree with having guns unless you're on a farm as an intruder, for instance. But like if you're living in the city and you've got a gun, no, you could just have a temptation to go out and shoot someone. No.
Anyone else on that? Anyone want to say anything on guns?
I mean, it's kind of a difficult question for me, because I know that that it is very important to have a certain, to an extent, a certain capability of like violence. If you have no ability to act and to act like definitely with a weapon that you know is going to actually, I guess, do some damage, like a real threat, then you lose a lot of the sort of it's like if there's no real risk to doing something wrong, if there's no real consequence, you lose a lot of this sort of stability and backing that you would otherwise have. there's obviously two sides, as you guys were saying. If you take away guns altogether, then the whole level of violence sort of goes down, or at least you'd expect it would. But that doesn't solve that wouldn't necessarily solve the baseline problems of having people committing crimes and taking advantage of people, or and you've still got knives and you've still got certain weapons that people can still use. So to take guns away altogether, I'm not sure, because that I don't think it would really change much, to be honest. It would just be a slightly different kind of violence, or a slightly different kind of crime, or a slightly different response to it. I think in moderation, where you have to have some resort to go to, I think guns is good. So I guess how the UK has it, where we have certain situations where we'll use guns, the police will use guns. But yeah, probably not for everyone to have. I'd probably agree with that, but I'm undecided, really.
Yeah, I think so long as you can protect your family, then that's kind of the main thing. Like if there's no gun crime or no knife crime, then it's fine. But if you need to protect your family, then I think you should be allowed to protect your family. I think that's a given right.
Yeah, you want to protect them. You don't want to have someone barge into your house with a gun and be unarmed to protect your family.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So that leads us quite nicely on to the next question. What makes a soldier, and what makes a good soldier? Do you want to take us away with that one?
I don't know why I would need to. So starting with the very basics, what we get taught in the army is the sea drills. I'm sure if you're a cadet as well, then you know what they are. They stand for courage, discipline, respect for others, integrity, loyalty, and selfless commitment. But one thing that I don't think is included in all of that is a certain level of empathy and mercy as well. And those are traits that God has, and being created in God's image, I think we need to reflect those to a certain degree as well. Anyways, on to you guys.
Yeah, on that, Joel, I would agree with you. That's just it there, isn't it? It's discipline. Being able to take serious orders, and being able to handle stuff under pressure, which discipline, I suppose, is one of those things. So yeah, I think I'd agree with you on that, and especially mercy. It's not something you would see a lot of, is it? Not at all, really. But it is something that, as Christians, as reflecting the Holy Spirit, that is something that would come out naturally. And to see more of that, yes, that would definitely be encouraging. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess watching Lord of the Rings, you get to see a lot of that, because there's quite a good role model, there's lots of good role models in that. There's a number of spoilers. If you've not seen Lord of the Rings yet, you really should have. You're like 13 years behind.
Go and watch them.
There's characters like Boromir who, you kind of think, they're baddies, but actually they're very human. And Boromir does end up dying to save the others. He gives up his life. That is a very, good characteristic of, that is like something that soldiers kind of have to have, that, protect at all costs. I think also something you get from Aragorn is he's a leader, but one of the most important things about being a leader is that you're a servant. A good leader serves. A good leader serves and puts others ahead of him. So I think that's my take on soldiers, I guess.
On a slightly different strain, a lot of people have asked me the question: would you be prepared to kill somebody or take somebody's life when you're in a fighting environment? And there's a lot of controversy on this. And personally, if there's no justification for it whatsoever, so if you're just in a battle, I don't think it's right. But if let's say that your whole troop is about to get killed by somebody else, and you have the opportunity to save all these people's lives by taking them out, even though it's a really hard thing to do, and there ultimately is no justification for killing, I don't think I could also justify the fact that my whole troop is going to die. So I think in that situation, I might be forced to do so.
It's like that one meme, I'll say. It's like there's a picture of a train going down the train track, and there's this guy at the junction where you can change it. There's one guy laying on one bit of the train track, on one side, and then a group of other people laying on the other side of the train track, and it's it's a tough decision to make.
You can't save both of them. You can't save everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better to save more than it is to save one. So saving the one would result in more families weeping, but saving all of them would result in one
One
less
person
sad
dying.
family.
Yeah. It's kind of you can't really win, can you?
No, but somehow Jesus managed to save us all. So don't know what happened there.
Amen.
Amen, yeah.
bro.
So that's, I would say that's one of the things that concludes the soldier right there, making that decision in a split second.
Right, we're going to move on to a different segment now. So we're going to do some whiteboard rankings. Then we're also going to have another guest come in. So Ethan, do you want to make your way over? Ethan is a YouTuber, Seriously Different. So welcome. Annie, do you have the whiteboard down there? Alrighty, we have all the decent dudes on here, all the guests and all the decent dudes in an order from 1 to 8, and we are going to rank them in order.
As a group.
So the first question, the first rank order, or the first question to rank is, whose hairline will recede the quickest?
Josh.
Definitely not me.
Okay.
Shots fired.
Who should we start with?
Are we doing the other two as well?
Yes. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
everyone, but it's only the people at the table voting on
Oh
who-
yeah, cool, yeah. Because it's definitely Ruben.
Okay, first one up, Joel. Where should we rank Joel?
I feel like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I agree.
Somewhere in the middle. It's maybe like
4?
4.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Let's
thinking
go
the same,
4.
yeah.
4 or 5. I mean, it's already fairly far back. So not too low. Whoa.
Okay, next one up. Next one up is Sol.
His is decent, I'd say.
Decent.
It's decent. Actually, maybe not.
No, I think Sol's
think-
good.
Yeah, he's quite similar to Joel, I'd say.
So 5?
I'd say he's got a
5
little
or
bit more
6?
potential than Joel.
I
More
think
potential.
I think he's got a bit more coverage. No offense, Joel.
Should we go
6. How's about 6?
6?
I will take that all
That's
day
pretty
long.
good.
That's pretty good.
That is solid. That
pretty
is
good.
very decent.
Okay, we have Ethan. Where are we putting Ethan?
Oh, crumbs, no.
I feel like 4 or 6. No, 3 or 6. Sorry.
Well, 6 is just gone.
Step 5 then 3 or 5.
Mm.
For who we're gonna put on
3.
board? That's the question.
Don't be
Yeah.
too harsh.
3.
3.
3.
Yeah, you can swap them around. Yeah,
You can swap
we
them
can
out.
swap them.
we can swap them.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's go for it.
Okay, on to Josh, Mr. Hare himself.
Ooh. What is that?
Fine specimen.
Definitely
7?
got potential.
Seven.
Loads
I
of
think Josh
potential
is
there,
pretty
mate.
Seven, alright?
safe.
You did
Pretty
really
safe.
well.
Yeah.
Should we put him pretty low?
7, right? I reckon 8, to be honest.
Should we give it to him?
I'll take that, boys. I'll take it.
Wow.
Okay, we're on to Jack.
Go on, pull that
Do it,
puppy
do it.
down.
Jack's a tough one.
Pull that hair back, boy.
Josie forehead, bro.
That's actually pretty good.
Okay.
I think 7.
Just ignore the scars.
7, I reckon.
Not sure how I feel about that.
We'll
Okay.
change it soon. Don't worry.
Where should we put Manny then?
Money. Oh.
Do the thing.
Let's see
yeah.
it. Let's see it.
Does receding have to go from the middle, or can it go from the sides?
Bro, what are you saying?
I mean, the more it goes back to the sides, the worse, really, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you can't at all.
So number 2. Unless you want to.
I think we can swap some around, to be honest.
We had a little amen from Joel in the back.
Two.
I think Joel's a bit better, to be honest. I think we can.
Ooh.
I think we can bring
Okay.
Joel to like 5.
Yeah, put Manny at
Yeah, put
4
Manny there, yeah,
and put
yeah.
Joel at 5.
So who's going
I'm
to
still at the top. Wow.
On to
I
me.
think I'd look pretty good, Bolt.
Ooh. 1.
It's really not that bad.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah,
I mean, we've only got 2 spaces left, so
We can move them around though. They don't have. That's not the final one. Final positioning.
What
How
are
did
we
we
thinking,
end up
guys?
with?
What are we thinking?
How did we end up with Ruben and Isaac for the first 2? That's not make
no,
sense.
we haven't even.
We ended up with Rue for the final 2
Should we
because
just stick
he's
me
number
on 1 and
1.
Ruben on 2?
Ooh,
Yeah.
No, the other way around. The other way
It's a
around.
bit pale looking.
That was a quick choice.
But I want to be number 1.
You'll always be number 2, boy.
But we love Ruben, really.
We love you,
Do we? Do we? Do we?
I think you win.
The
Ruben.
hairline.
Okay, the second one is fashion sense. Ranking fashion sense.
Do you need to turn it off the board again, Isaac?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we get an order before we put them up?
I'm just going to get a quick snap of that.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, fashion sense. Who should we stick at number 8?
I'm just
Should
looking
we
around
pick
to
the
see who's
best
got
at
the
number 1?
worst.
Okay, who's got the best fashion sense? Clean your throat over there, Joel.
I have to admit, I don't think like all the top brands like Nike, Adidas, whatever, they don't all mean that's good style. It doesn't mean that instantly means you've got good style. It's how it looks on you.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I don't mean to brag, but I got fingers pointing at me, so.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put Jack at number 3 to kick us off.
Good.
Wow.
I'd say Rubes is pretty good. He's
Yeah,
pretty top.
yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, I agree.
Is Ruben
Have to
above Jack
agree.
or below?
They're about equal. Maybe Rube's a
Pretty
bit better.
equal.
Rube's a
I
bit
think
better.
Ruben
so
has done
two.
well to get stuff that absolutely suits him.
Cool.
And
Ruben's on
fits
number
him.
2.
And the 5'3" that he is, so it works.
Shots fired.
Dang. The attacks. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think
so-
Ruben's pretty good.
We'll see about that.
Do we think anyone can beat Jack?
Yes,
Ruben at number 2 and number 3.
I don't think so, honestly.
Should we move them
I
up to
do.
1
I
and 2?
do. I agree.
have to be
I think
1 and
it's
2
all
then.
can. I think Isaac.
I think 1 and 2.
Isaac can.
I would disagree with you there.
Mm.
I'd say just bring them both up.
Joel at number 3 definitely.
Now,
I would disagree on that one.
yeah, I'd put.
Yeah,
3
I
or 4
disagree.
then.
Strongly
I'm looking
disagree.
at Manny and Joel really for number 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would put Manny number 3.
Sorry, Joel.
Sorry, Joel.
Looks
Joel, we
like I
love
win.
I'm not
we
sure.
love your
Those
fashion.
110-pound shoes on Joel. I mean,
As I said, Nike doesn't mean anything.
All depends on who's wearing it, but yeah.
Mm.
If it suits them, then yeah, sure. But
Yeah, basically.
maybe.
Ooh, we've had a comment. Jack number 1, Ruben number 2, Isaac number 3.
Who said that?
Oh,
That person
Skylar
is
the
now
cat.
my favourite person.
that's a great name.
There's a cat comment.
Shout out to Skylar.
Okay, we've got 5 left.
Well, I think Isaac should go next
Yeah, I agree.
since we've got the comment.
I feel like you should go above me though.
Isaac, do you wanna just stand up for us so we can see your
I mean,
See my
if you want me to, that's fine.
see the fit? There we have it.
Josh, you
Nice
need to stand up. Show them your
Tan
fit.
jeans.
I have to say the jumper is clean. It's very clean.
So clean.
Solid. Can't go wrong with greys.
It's just
I'd
simple,
say Isaac
simple,
but
yeah.
effective.
4 and Josh 5.
Do you want
I'll
to keep
take
going,
that, I'll
Sol?
take that.
Wait, so we're judging fashion sense off what we're wearing right now, not
Currently.
what we
Just
normally wear.
overall.
Okay.
Yeah, man, you should have dressed up, Ethan.
Okay.
Yeah, some of
Wanna
us
do that then?
purposefully didn't dress up for this, you know. So
I feel quite low on the ranking right now. I feel
Yeah,
quite
I
bad
feel
about
like
it.
let's put Ethan 6th.
Let's just put me next on the list, bro.
It's me v Joel now.
Does Joel's shoes mean he goes at the bottom?
Yes.
yeah, got those Nike shoes. It's boring.
Yo,
I mean,
Well,
I
I'm not
kind
sure.
of like them though.
Still-
Like,
I love
Well,
that.
exactly. I
It's
still think they do suit him, so it works. And also, that black top is really, really nice on him. So I
Mm.
mean,
This is
Also,
overall
I've
not just
just-
today.
I've just caught sight of Sol's chain as well.
Ooh. With a
Ooh.
can
But
opener.
does
With
it
a
suit
can opener as a decoration. I think that has to seal the deal.
My cross broke, okay? My cross broke.
So you replace it with a can opener.
Oh, no. I knew this would happen.
No, he's got a cross up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
I'm so annoyed.
I mean, we are talking about Joel here, who basically wakes up, finds his clothes, puts them on, and then decides to put some Nikes on with them. But
Okay, we're moving on to the final ranking for this segment, which is first to get married.
Oh.
Lean forward, Isaac.
I feel like Jack has potential by the way he styles himself. But I'm not sure.
Wait.
I'm not sure we're judging that off.
But from that logic, I think Ruben's got the most.
Yeah, Ruben's got to be number 1 then, right?
I think, yeah, Ruben's definitely top 2, maybe top 3.
You know, I'm starting to see a pattern here, guys. Ruben and me are 1 and 2. Oh dear.
I think I'm pretty low down because I'm still 15.
Ruben 100%. Sol 100%.
Who said that?
Right.
Be like Skylar the catfish or something.
No.
Who said it?
Mayonnaise.
6 single lads. This is hard.
How'd you know? How'd you know we're single?
Yeah, I was gonna say. How do you know?
What did Ben say?
Okay, does anyone want to kick us off? Like, do we want like a mid-tier ranking?
I feel like we should start off and put the youngest guys at the bottom.
Yeah, I
'cause
think
they're-
so. 'Cause
They have a long way to go. So
Does it mean we could meet someone and get married at 18?
That's true. But that's
You
still quite quick.
still a long way away.
That
Statistically,
could happen. There's nothing
very
denying
likely.
it.
I'll take 7th.
All right.
Sorry, bro.
Good man, Ethan. Now that was wisdom showing right there.
I made sure to get my
Are we
position.
going by age here? It was.
It would
I think
appear
it's just-
so.
it was just
Is
age
it
for us
literally
under
just
18.
age?
Yeah.
Or
Come on.
Is there
I've been-
people?
Someone said I'm getting married first.
Yeah, we've got to sort that.
Was that a girl or was that a guy?
We've got to swap that round.
The question is, was that a guy or a girl?
I know. I actually know who it is. That's the bad thing.
Oh, you have to tell me.
That's unfair, Lena. Come on.
Oh, I know who it is as well. I know who it is.
He's handsome dude.
Look at that. That's
Oh,
hard.
bro, that's
Wow.
hard.
That's just way too many.
Bro, I'm putting Joel on like 3 because he's a soldier.
Soldier.
Surely that means. So,
Two actually. Two.
I mean, what if he goes to war and he doesn't come back?
Ooh.
Oh.
He could still go. He could get married though, and then.
Yeah, but there's always that
And then
risk. There's always that risk if he goes to war and doesn't come back if he's married.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that.
Can I put
Two.
Josh at 6?
Yes.
You may.
Because he doesn't go. He, doesn't.
Do you
talk
think
to
I'll
girls.
ever
Doesn't
get
go
married?
clubbing.
No.
But he plays the drums.
I think anyone
you
who
gotta
plays the
put him
drums
on.
should
You gotta put
automatically
him on.
get like a
I
ton
say
of
the
points.
guitar is more
Right?
attractive.
What?
I say the guitar is more attractive.
Nah, bro. Never.
No, I
I
disagree
think
as well.
I'm putting Jack at 1 because he's a carpenter.
Oh, he's a carpenter.
Yeah, Joseph.
Most popular trade, that is.
I had a question to go on to
Statistically.
that though. What area of maturity is marriage material, and what area of marriage material are you looking for, or we looking for? Or
Not
they
yours.
looking for?
Was
Not
that a
mine.
question
Okay,
for
thank you,
later?
Ethan.
Was that a question for later or not?
That was a question to go along with that
I
question.
can't remember. Was that a question?
Well, what area? What area of marriage material are we looking for here to judge people on this? What
Pretty
area
mature.
of maturity?
Are you
Very
talking, like,
mature.
in
So like
Christianity and
social
faith?
maturity,
Yeah, everything.
maturity in faith, everything.
Yeah, yeah,
everything. Nice.
Stability
nice.
as well.
Stability. There we
Big
go.
Yeah.
And we're talking financial there as
stability.
well. and stuff
That's
like
done.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need to worry because Ben agrees with Jack on number 1.
Oh. Thank you, Ben. Which Ben? No, I'm taking.
Okay, me or Manny? Who's
You,
higher?
then Manny. Wait,
mean,
Rue's
you're-
still there.
you're
Okay,
definitely
Rue needs to
more-
get on. I think
more
it goes
settled.
Rue,
I think we
Isaac, Manny.
Ruben's definitely second. I would 100%.
Yeah,
Isaac. I think Isaac 4.
yeah, Rue third.
Who's second then?
No, I'd
Manny-
say
Manny
Isaac.
Joel.
over Rue.
Manny 5th.
I would say.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would say.
Just because he's.
Wait, are
younger.
we saying Joel's second and Rube's third?
Can do.
Oh,
Maybe not. I think Isaac's second, to be honest.
Isaac's got that riz.
He's got it, isn't he? He's got it all.
Bro, I'm not sure. 25 at least.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think we should.
Isaac's
I think
being
we should
proposed to right now as we speak.
with a bolt.
Yeah, Isaac, I think you got to put yourself 2, mate. Second.
With a bolt from
Put
the
Joel down to 3.
And what of Ruben here?
But Joel literally just proposed. Like, come on. He's trying so hard.
Wait, he's. I'm thinking Ruben as 3.
Yeah.
Ruben.
Isaac is 2.
Mm.
Isaac definitely 2. Yeah.
Joel's going down.
After he proposed.
It's because he was declined, bro.
Decline. Damaged goods.
Needs at least 5 years to get over the pain.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Okay, fair enough.
I can't believe I'm above you, Ethan.
Alrighty.
I'm still not
That-
happy with that, man.
You got some beef with
I'm
Lena.
not happy with one person.
You got some beef with Lena now.
I have.
Okay. That concludes the whiteboard rankings. We're going to move on to the second segment of topics. So Sol is going to leave, and Ethan is going to leave, and Joel and Ruben are going to swap back on. Willkommen.
Can I just say something? I can't be rated on fashion sense by people who have no fashion sense. I can second that. I can't get rated on marriage by people that are never going to get married.
Whoa. Fair play.
I'm joking.
Okay. Okay, that was a nice one. That's an interesting question, Beth. Is this who is deemed most likely by the opposite sex, or who is more likely to actually get married? Hashtag different things.
Married.
Married.
That's what we said at the start. So that's what
Married.
That is
Yeah.
what we mean.
You feel free to disagree,
But you can't.
and it
'cause
won't
we're
do
making the
anything.
rules.
Because we're the decent dudes and you're not.
Ooh. Okay, so the first question of our new segment, which is around sort of relationship, advice, that sort of thing, because we're experts in that. I mean, we're experts in everything.
experts. Yes.
Yeah.
Just experts all round, really.
So the first question is how to get the perfect glow up.
I mean, from my experience,
Yeah, nice one.
Who wants to kick us off? Shall I kick us off with that?
Yes, please.
Okay, I think doing your hair in the morning is key. I think doing your hair is key.
Jack, can you give us some hair tips?
Yes, please.
No,
Oh, it's his secret recipe. What's going on?
bro, it's all natural. 200% natural. This
Keep
is the
your
most
dirty
organic.
secrets.
This is the most organic hair you'll ever see.
Also, have a shower sometimes. That's quite important.
Just
Only
sometimes. Yeah,
sometimes.
you don't like once a week. It's fine.
See, this is where he goes down on the list. So I personally have a shower every day.
Yeah, but look at your hair.
Hey, what's wrong with it, man? Mine's cool.
I think also another thing that's key is like not having too many snacks. That's.
Do you want to bring the sweets
Can
out?
I have some snacks?
Can we have some snacks, please?
Yeah, but
where
do-
are these snacks,
Where are
boys?
some
Do
snacks?
remember,
Where are
guys,
these snacks?
diabetes
waiter?
is real. Come on.
Get some snacks in.
Yeah.
Guys, don't have too many snacks. It's
I
not good.
love your hair, Jack.
Sugar. Cut the
I
sugar.
love yours too, Job.
Yeah. I love you, Jack.
I love you too, Job. But I'm not accepting that ring.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a good. Go on, Ruth.
Caring about how you look, but not caring about what people think, is very important.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you have self-respect for yourself, but you're not full of pride.
Yes, you've got to have some sort of awareness of how you appear and how you come across. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
some importance.
I think that's key. It's basic things like hygiene, such as brushing your teeth. It's making sure your hair is, looks decent.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to look perfect and flawless, like Jack's, but it just has to look kind of vaguely all right. Same with fashion sense, like, it helps if you have an idea of what colors work together, that sort of thing, and it helps if you're wearing clothes that actually kind of fit you.
I guess that kind of leads on to like, how much should you really care about what other people think of you or your appearance?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's important to have some awareness, because how you come across and what people think of you does really have a effect on how they respond to you. So, for example, in the workplace, especially if you've got like an office job or somewhere where you want to get across some of your own attitude, what your attitude is in a given situation. If you're coming in rags and with no fashion sense, your hair's all messy, you haven't woken up properly, you look half asleep, your shoes are muddy, then immediately, even before you speak, before you do anything in the workplace, whoever sees you is going to think, oh, that person isn't taking this seriously, he's not prepared for his job. Immediately, that's like a big no-no for them, a big red flag. So that's an important thing to take into consideration.
Yeah, it absolutely matters in the terms of being a witness, doesn't it? Like,
That's true.
because when people think, if people associate, for example, Christians with walking around in rags and being stinky and stuff, that's not going to help, is it?
I also think it's important to have a good, solid group of friends around you that you can trust, who will give you good advice about how you look, how you act, and your general appearance in public. But those friends that you trust, because you don't put people in your life that will give you bad advice.
Yeah, I very much agree with that. Like, they can say, hey, you need to, you look really messy all the time, or they can be like, hey, you're going over the top. Why are you spending so much money on your shoes? And sorry, I didn't mean to make a personal attack on you.
This was highly thought through. These are going to last me, for the rest of my life. Also, I was just looking at your eyelashes, Ruben. They were really long. I love them.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Relationship boundaries. How far is too far in the context of being friends? I think making comments about other people's eyelashes is a little bit...
We're talking about opposite sex friendships here, let's be clear.
Just to be
so
clear.
that's fine.
Just to be clear.
So yes, one thing that I think is always important in relationships with the opposite sex is that you make sure you have mental boundaries that you are aware of in your own head and in your own mind, constantly aware of. But keep them in your mind, but don't let them affect how you're coming across, if you like. They're not supposed to be
The
a
boundaries.
blockage for talking to people, as some people might take them to, boundaries, or a blockage for talking to people about slightly more sensitive topics. But they are there to protect one another's hearts. That's important, and you need to be choosing them importantly. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. I think one of the most important things is stating your intentions. And that's definitely a mistake that I've made in the past, not stated my intentions. Thank you so much. I love Jammy Dodgers. So if you're in a if you're in a friendship with somebody, they could be getting the wrong signals from you if you have not stated your intentions, or if it's not obvious that you're just friends. So
Yeah, clarity of intentions is, I completely agree with that, is very important. Yeah, don't want to be getting mixed up with stuff that you're not meant to be a part of.
Yeah, I think in the long run, both you would be preferred to be telling the truth and clear and upfront with each other than to get confusion and to ruin a couple of months of each other's friendship because you're not very clear and you don't actually understand how you stand with each other. I think that's very important.
yeah, there's a balance between being honest as well, and coming across in an empathetic and loving way, and that's really important, especially if you want to stay friends with them. For example, if somebody likes you and you don't like them back, letting them down like that.
Yeah,
I think it's quite important to see each other as like brothers and sisters in Christ, because if you start seeing them as anything different from that, it's it might change things. And I think in general, unless you're actually you shouldn't date someone to sort of try it out. You should date someone if you want to marry them. So if there's someone that you kind of think you like, but you're not quite sure, I think you should keep those boundaries in place, because if they're the right person for you, then if they're the right person that God has for you, then it will happen. And I've had a couple of people say that to me, and it's quite helpful advice, really.
Yeah, you need to intentionally pursue them. Those are the words.
Yeah. That actually takes us on to our next question, which is about a first date. So prepping for a first date, where should you take them? General first date advice. I think we had someone ask that question on Instagram. So what's your takes on first date?
I'd say Mackey's is a pretty solid.
I was going to make a joke about that.
Strong
Solid
contender,
start,
yeah.
solid start.
I mean, personally, I'd take them to the Eiffel Tower. I'd get you roses, take you to a fancy restaurant. I'm paying.
He's still single, guys.
It's not
So are
work
you.
yet.
I think it's very important to understand what the other person enjoys and what they like before going on a first date, so you can make that experience as best as possible for both of you.
Yeah, can I suggest that, kind of going back to what we were talking about before, just be open and honest. I think that's because clarity of intentions is really, really important, I think, for a good and proper and appropriate and godly relationship with someone. And the only way to avoid giving off, I guess, signals that you don't want to be giving off, or miscommunications or misunderstandings between people, one way to avoid that is just to be real with the person and be genuine with them, and not try to
Yeah.
come across maybe in a way that's not actually you, and put on like a fake sort of identity because you want to come across a certain way. You have to be real with them, and you have to actually, I guess, show them who you are, like where your heart is, essentially. I think that's really, really important. So in a first date, that applies as well, because, you know, typically like a first date, you know, the classic scenario where you're on your level best, trying to impress them, you know, trying to almost pretend that you're someone that you want, where it could very easily happen, and I understand that. But being real is the first most important thing, I think.
Yes, and I'd say the absolute core of being real is honesty. Honesty is the foundation of every relationship that you should have with everybody and anybody. Thy word is thy bond, and that means something, and it's there for a reason, right? Yeah, I would totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Be yourself. Don't mold yourself for the other person, to the other person. You need to totally be yourself. Otherwise, you end up entering into a fake relationship,
Yeah.
you know, as Manny was saying. And yeah, absolutely, Ruben as well. Like, always having their interests in mind, putting them before yourself is so important. If you don't do that, you know, like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I heard a very good piece of advice once about how you can get into a relationship that God wants you to be in, and that is to run as fast as you can in the direction the Lord wants you to be going in. And if someone can keep up with you, and so someone can challenge you to get close to the Lord, then that the person might just be for you, because that's a godly relationship. That's somebody that's bringing you closer to the Lord.
Yeah, I think just having God in the middle of the relationship is the most important thing. Like, if you don't have God in the center of it, you're going to fall into a lot of temptation, and you might even give in to temptation of a lot of things. So I think that's so important.
Absolutely. Like, for example, if you build it upon God, when you collapse or something bad happens, you'll fall on Him. If you're building it on each other and it collapses, you're both falling down. And you know,
And that also applies to like any kind of relationship, really. So even before if there's two people that are considering dating, even before you're dating, that just as a friendship, that should be the same. Should be the same in friendships as well. Have God at the center, and that will set you up to go into a dating. If you're starting dating, that will set you up to be dating in a godly way as well, I think. Yeah, so it starts even before then. It starts in the very early stages of your friendship, putting God first.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think you'd all agree that a first date should be fun as well. I think you should go somewhere where that's fun, and somewhere that you're going to enjoy it and where they're going to enjoy it, and it's, you know, you just have a nice time with someone you know, maybe you've not even met them before, but hopefully you have. But if you haven't met them before, you know, it should be something that is enjoyable, just meeting someone for the first time. And if you have met them before, which is preferable, then it should be, you know, it should still be fun. It shouldn't be like pressured or anything like that. You should just relax and just have a nice time, you know, enjoying a meal together, like you're with a group of friends, but just on a more one-to-one. Like Mackey's, yeah.
Just like
About to
Mackey's.
say that as well.
Got that first.
What if you're on a date and she insists on paying?
I have some thoughts on this. So obviously, out of principle, and possibly tradition, whether questioning tradition, if tradition is right, is another topic, or we can touch on it now. But I think if she offers to pay and you just simply say no, like completely, I'm going to pay, you're also taking away her option and her power to pay. It might not be that deep. But yeah, I definitely think that you should be like, oh no, I insist. But if she's like, I'm paying, then, you know, you should accept that, even though I obviously want to pay.
Yeah, I'd be quite similar. Like, I would automatically pay, like, want to pay. But if she really, really wanted to, that's fine. Like, if she wants.
Also, normalize like half and half, you know? Just say. I don't have much in my bank account.
I think it really does depend on how you want to come across. Me personally, I would want that would be the paying first, right? The paying first. I've never done this before, but I can picture myself paying first as such, and that would be the person I'd want to be representing the person who's going to pay first, the person who's going to put themselves ahead in that sense. And yes, I do really think it's where do you want to put yourself? Because if you're automatically thinking split the bill and she's expecting you to pay, enough said.
It also kind of shows like what your expectations are in a more long-term relationship. Like if you're wanting to split the bill from day one, then you're kind of saying, okay, when we get married, we're gonna kind of go halves on everything. Whereas if you're like, okay, I'm gonna pay first, it's kind of like you're saying that you're willing to be the provider of the family, and it's a small detail, but I think it has quite a lot of significance in that.
Especially when it's early sort of impressions in a way.
Also, can I just touch on the previous question as well? You're saying like it needs to be fun. I think an element of like being spontaneous is important as well. Like, let's go for a walk. Let's like after a meal, let's go for a walk in this, garden, this flower garden. I don't know. That's quite romantic, isn't it? Go to McDonald's, even though we just had a fancy meal at like Pretzel or something. You know what I mean?
Also, praying at the start of a first date. It's a good place to
Absolutely.
start. Good place to start. Jesus first.
I mean,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, talking about how you want to come across. I mean, if God truly is the center of your heart, well, that's going to come across, isn't it? And you're going to be blessed either way, no matter what happens. And a lot of people are really nervous when it comes to these sort of things. But yeah,
I'm proud of you for saying that, Ruben. Like, pray.
Okay, we're gonna move on to our second whiteboard ranking segment. So I think we're gonna have Ethan come on. Is that right? And Manny's gonna move out.
Money.
No. Ethan. Yes.
What's up,
Alrighty,
everybody?
we're back. So for this first one, let's try and move through this a little bit quicker than last time. We're gonna do who spends the most time on their phone, the most screen time. So we don't know. We haven't checked each other's phones. We don't know how much screen time, but we're gonna guess. Okay, so who should we go with first? Or shall we? Let's see. Who do you think has the highest?
I feel like Isaac's been playing a lot of PUBG and chess.com, so I think we should possibly put him, let's see. We can rummage around these later.
yes,
Three's
maybe.
a safe bet right now.
I'm also looking at Ethan, but he has 2 phones, so I'm not really sure about that.
What-
I feel like we need to combine the screen times
think
to
so
make it
too.
fair.
All right,
I
okay.
think so too. As
Joel 1. Ruben 2 taking selfies.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean, guys.
The truth's coming out. The truth's coming out.
Are we doing Ethan 1 and
Well, actually,
Ruben 2?
I want to pick up on that. So I do have 2 phones. Yes, iPhone and Android, which can go against like what everyone
That's
says.
an abomination. There you go.
Basically, one is the camera and one is my normal phone. So could we class it as a camera? So basically, it's basically my vlogging camera, which I'd normally use a normal camera, but I have an iPhone instead to film.
In which case, I'd negate my camera time though on my screen time. So
And all my selfies as well. Those get
Oh.
cut off because that's bulking,
Okay, are we putting Joel number 2 then?
what? When was that in question?
Maybe number one.
We're putting you number 2.
I think Sol might be quite high up considering he makes a lot of YouTube videos and content.
Oh, that's true.
he'll be quite high.
Are we putting Isaac down to 4th for now?
I say put him 4.
Yeah.
Wait, what about the off-camera dudes?
Guys, we need to get some faces on. So so Sol, where are we putting Sol? We're putting him high or are we putting him
2.
low? 2.
I think
Yeah,
we're
2,
putting him
let's
in
do 2.
high for sure.
All right, let's
Well, this
do
thing's gonna fall down.
let's do Ethan. Where are we putting Ethan? Is Ethan above or below Sol?
Just below. I'd say it's a solid 3 or 5.
I don't think Ethan's that bad.
Thank you, Josh.
I feel like we
I
put
think
it.
he's higher than me.
I think we put it at 1 for now until we find an
Ooh, I'm not
alternative.
sure about that, Isaac.
Shall we do
In
that?
that case, Joel.
Is that okay?
yeah, Joel's trying to stay clear, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ruben, where would you put yourself?
I'll place myself between 5 and 7. I don't think I'm the last,
6.
but I'm between them.
6. Yeah. He has quite like a 6 vibe, doesn't he? Yeah. If he was a number, he'd be 6 for sure. I'd be a 1. Oh, thank you. I'll take that.
Okay, so we've got a dark horse in Josh. Where is Josh?
Can I just say, Isaac, you look like the number 72. I don't know why. I'm just getting that vibe.
I appreciate that.
In the chat, someone says Joel 1, Ethan 2, Isaac
Thank
3,
you.
Josh 4, Jack 5, Ruben 6.
You know, I'm happy with 5. Yeah. Let's just put me there before I go any lower.
Okay, are we putting Manny? Should we put Manny on 8? I feel like Manny's fairly high because he's been Isaac, you want to play a bit of PUBG,
Well, we all know you're both very good grinders. So, I mean,
What?
Oh, you think Josh's
Screen time's high. One's
No, one is the most screen time.
So yeah, just confirming, 1 is the most screen time.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I don't know. It's hard to.
I feel like Josh is pretty high because he's like a techie guy. He likes his tech.
Yeah,
So like, look, he's on his phone right now. Look at that.
I'm watching this stream. Actually, it's gonna make it really high. Turn it off.
You just upped your screen time, mate. Like, wait, I have as well.
Yeah, I've literally spent the last 20 minutes on this with it on, so
Same.
that will go towards it.
If we've all done that kind of right, or notes,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we can just let that slide.
I think for me to say something, I think I would swap Jack and Ruben round, and I'll put Manny at 7. That's quite a say, but
I think
I'm gonna call it.
I think I should go at 8.
That just doesn't seem right, bro, with all them reels,
What reels?
Reels you enjoy.
the
I know what
300 that I
you're
went
talking
onto
about.
Instagram to find.
Talking about my second job.
I guess that leaves Josh at 8.
I guess so. I kind of disagree. I think it's someone else, but we'll see.
Should we reveal
Are we checking now?
Reveal it. So like last
No.
week.
Do I need to get?
No, not this week because we've been doing stuff.
Okay, last week. Let's
Do I need to get both phones?
Yes, you do.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, you just add them up.
Or just do that for now and then.
Okay.
Okay. Not bad. In a sec.
Oh, I don't know about Android.
Instagram's not looking good, chat.
Okay, has anyone got their screen time for last week up?
I've only got this.
Who's saying Joel 100%? What's going on? To be fair, the barbers don't really go on their phones much. I mean, you're both on your phones right now. What?
Okay.
I just turned it off to save it.
Okay. Did you actually? That was so funny.
Joel, do you have your screen time?
I do have my screen time.
What was it for last week?
Last week's average was 4 hours 3 minutes. Do you want me to go into detail? I spent 9 hours 22 minutes on Instagram. In the week.
That's 3 less than me.
Really? To be fair. Okay. Not as bad as I thought. Last week, Ruben was in Italy. Oh my goodness.
I can only get up this week's.
Should we do the
So-
previous week?
Oh, all them selfies,
All right, just do this week's, Ruben. What's it looking?
This week's is 5 hours 18 minutes.
Okay, right. So
Okay, I'm on 4 hours 52 minutes.
4 hours 52. So at the moment, yeah.
I'm second, Ruben's first.
So yours,
Josh,
Jack?
4 hours 53.
You're 1 minute above me.
No,
my days.
Got away with that one.
Hey Jack, you wouldn't believe it. I'm literally the same as you.
That's
the
a
same.
misconception. I play PUBG Mobile with these dudes. That's what Nathan said.
I would like to defend myself though, because like quite a few hours of that was using an app for an in-ear monitoring system that we use at church, and I have to have it open for like ages, like hours. So it's crazy.
What was yours?
4 hours 53.
53.
Yeah.
Wait, was yours 4 hours 53?
No, mine was 5:18.
Wait, so Manny is 4:45. I'm 4:52,
He's
and Jack
4:53.
and Joshua are both 4:53.
So mine's the lowest. Let's go. Let's go.
Right, so I'm going to give my... Let's just say for my screen time, I would agree with being at number 1. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Really?
And that's... Sad to say that's on one phone. Alone.
2 hours 53 for bench.
I'll take number 1.
2 hours.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, 2 hours less than me as well.
That is
Oh,
not something to be proud of.
Respectable.
Can't do math.
Guys, fair play.
Yeah, Saul's going to come and say.
Okay. So, in my defence, I'm I'm at college 2 days a week,
This guy
and
might be one.
and I get super bored at lunch and on the bus home. My weekly average is 6 hours 59 minutes.
6 hours 59.
Big
Ethan,
seven.
what was yours?
That made me feel better.
Do you want to say yours?
Wait, average a day or a week?
A week. Yeah.
Weekly average,
Do you want to just like go through them?
Do you want me to say it?
I think we just... It's Ethan at 1, like, we just leave it at that.
Okay, right, let's move on to who would win a Decent Dudes Hunger Games. So if you don't know what Hunger Games is, it's basically like if everyone went into a one man, every man for themselves type thing. Last man standing. You've got weapons, you've got swords, etc. Who would win last man standing?
I want to see some activity in the chat here. I want some comments.
We want to see some comments here, lads.
Okay, in the comments, who would go out first?
Who would die first?
Who would die first, peeps?
No, let's.
Yeah, he's
guys,
saying I'd die first. What's
Joel, easy.
Except
Except he can
Do you
shoot.
think I'd survive, like, the longest? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like
You're confused there.
I feel like Ruben would either die like first, or he'd just hide
I
and
would
survive
camp,
like to
bro.
the end.
I would camp, bro. I'll be up a tree somewhere.
He'd die by the zone.
We're talking Hunger Games, not PUBG.
Right, who are we gonna go put like at the bottom?
That's just crazy. I can't believe you'd say that.
Yeah. I think Josh goes out first.
Okay, someone said Josh. Someone said
I
Josh.
totally disagree with that.
Rip Josh.
Right. After Josh, who's dying next?
I want to say Sol, but I'm not going to say.
Wait, you just did.
Joel to win. Thanks for the clarification.
Are we going with Soul?
Ooh.
Would anyone last longer than Soul? I mean, would anyone not last longer
Longer
than
than
Soul?
Sol.
So wouldn't even last 30 seconds.
I think he's a big target. He's quite tall.
I wouldn't give him hide and seek this year, actually.
Did you? Was it with giants?
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about...
Oh, no.
Sol would go first. Joel would win. Oh, Manny would win.
Manny
There's
would
no
win.
agreement.
Oh, no
Okay,
agreement.
so Joel and Manny are high up.
Are we talking in our own ability, or are we talking about faith in bringing in Christianity?
Oh.
Ruben, I'm putting you on 6, man.
Not-
I
I'm
think
not sure.
I think
That's
Ethan,
fair.
we were asking particularly in the status of Hunger Games.
Okay. Well, what if you had faith in Hunger Games? No, okay.
Would you use that to kill people?
The sword of the
I was
spirit,
thinking
bro.
about defending,
Sword of
not
the spirit,
killing.
bro.
You know, paralyze them. without them.
I don't think we should use the sword of the spirit as a weapon.
Yeah, let's say that.
For mass destruction.
Killing our friends.
Bro, you've got to go out for that. Ethan would probably climb a tree.
Yeah.
I don't think I would climb a tree actually.
You wouldn't climb
I
a
won't
tree.
climb
Oh,
a
you'd
tree.
hide in the bracken.
I would go out there. I would say.
You'd go out next.
No, I would go. I
even
would go. I
though
wouldn't
it
hide.
is
Oh, you
a
wouldn't.
sword
You
of
go
the-
out there. Yeah. Okay. Guys, who's going back? Who's going fifth? Who are we putting fifth?
I feel like, oh my goodness. I feel like Jack would just get distracted and start cooking. Like he's just cooking, you know. He's just like,
Nothing wrong with that.
you
You'd
know,
all
he's
come and
like,
help me,
he's
so-
killing rabbits and making up a stew.
Jack would
Yeah,
get
but it would attract
targeted.
all of you, and I'd be camping in a tree. I mean,
Oh.
So we have one from Nathan Taylor saying Josh would go up first, then me, then Ethan, then Rue, then Isaac, then Jack, then Manny, and then Joel is the winner.
Yeah.
Ethan would jump on a wall and hit his face.
Yes. That's Lena.
Bro, that's because we're jumping, isn't it? That's gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take fifth. I'll take fifth.
Okay.
Right, last four.
Man, this is getting tough.
This would get
It's
down
getting
to
tough.
like the
Right, come on,
strategy, like,
guys.
who's teaming up with who?
Who are you thinking? Oh, right, yeah.
They get down
There's
to
like
teaming
gangs
up.
Trust no
going
one.
on and stuff like that.
Who's
you
teaming
know?
up?
Or maybe it's a 3 against a 1.
Yeah, but me and Joel are like this. Me
Yeah,
and Joel
yeah.
are like this.
Me and Isaac
We're
are like
teaming. We're
this.
teaming.
Which team we were in?
Joel, who should we
That
go?
will be
who
your
should we go
downfall,
for?
Joel.
Who should we take out? Let's
Isaac's
take
gonna
Manny
stab
out.
you.
Let's
Alright.
take Manny out. We're taking Manny
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So one of you will fall.
I'll
Who
take
will
the
it?
hit. I'll take the hit.
Yeah,
He's
but I
taking the
think
hit, he's
I
taking
think
the
at
hit.
this point Jack's weak from his wounds. You know.
I have wounds. How did they get there?
yeah. That's it.
What if we just like made a truce and like you just cooked me?
Wait,
some,
so you're
like,
gonna get that
amazing
winner
meal?
chicken dinner that I cooked?
Yeah, the chicken dinner.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
That was good.
that was good. That was good.
All right. This is the big one, guys. Husband potential.
Oh my goodness. Husband potential.
We have a post from my sister. She screenshotted it and said, "Here we have iPad kids in their natural habitat with everyone on their phones. You're all looking at your phones at that moment."
No.
Oh no.
Look at our screen time.
That's blackmail material.
The decent dudes on our phones.
I'm not gonna put my phone.
If
away.
you
Okay, husband potential, guys. Husband's potential.
If I was a girl, you know, Ruben's a pretty great guy. No, just saying.
This is different from the who would get married first because it's based on potential.
Mm.
It's like a
Their
long-term
traits.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because somebody could trick their way. into-
I feel like the way that Ethan carried these sweets across to me, like I felt really caring, and I feel like that's a really good thing.
Mm.
Thank
So
you, Isaac.
I'm gonna put Ethan at like 2 or 3.
Okay. Also, Jack is great at cooking.
I can make
Nah,
a really
I'm
good
just
design.
throwing
I
that
agree
out
with that.
there.
That
I
has to
agree
be
with
high
that.
up there.
You know,
And he can
that's
hunt.
he can make
hunt.
a house. You know, he can like
That's true. That's true.
He can
Make a
cook.
house.
He can hunt.
provide
cook,
food, shelter.
and he's got the curls.
He's got to be number one. He's got to be number
Unfor-
one. Easily number one.
Remember, he only showers once a week.
Oh.
No, that was just my recommended.
All right. Okay. Money.
Well, who could resist? Am I right?
I think there's some bias going on there.
I love
Oh,
that.
thank you, Holly.
Ouch.
Right, let's go. Who are we playing?
Let's get cracking.
I feel like you would be a great
Uncle. You know, I'm gonna be an uncle in a couple of months.
I'm already an uncle.
I'm looking forward to that, and I'm just saying I'll be like, that's like my free trial to be a dad. So
You get free
I'll-
practice,
yeah.
so that potential is really high.
the potential.
I've been an uncle for 5 years.
Oh,
I've been an uncle for a year now. Welcome, Joel.
oh, thank you very much.
I've
Are we
been an
top
uncle
three,
for
guys?
so long I can't even remember.
Right, come on, we've got 5 people left.
Right.
I can make
I
lasagna.
feel like
Does that
Isaac.
count?
I feel like Isaac is like, you know, he has good husband potential.
I think Isaac next, to be honest.
Should we like 3 or 4th? Third or
No,
4th?
I think like 5.
I think 5. Okay, I think 5.
I'm not an uncle, you see.
Okay. Should we go 5 then?
I think Isaac is like really close
Nathan
to
in
the
chat
Yeah,
says
I think he is as
Isaac,
well. I think he
number
deserves
one.
higher
way
than
up,
that,
honestly.
But
Yeah.
maybe he needs to be an uncle first, and then he'd be like smash number 1, like no
Mm.
challenge. You know.
Like, by him putting himself there, obviously means he's humble. So
Yeah.
I think let's just.
Ooh.
put
Jack,
that-
I think that books
I think
us
you know.
up.
I think. Yeah, I think 4th. Yeah, I think 4th. Yeah, that's solid.
Nathan
I
in
don't-
chat says Isaac number 1, Josh 2, Ethan 3, Manny 4, Ruben 5, Jack 6, Joel 7 because of army, Sol 8 because he's 15.
Oh, yes, good point. Good point.
What? Because I'm gonna die in battle.
Yeah, that does actually knock you down. I'm putting you like 6. Okay.
I don't think we're talking about Ruben. I think Ruben's really caring. He has such a joyful heart, and I think he needs to go quite high up.
I think he's either.
Can I just say, Sol's got the height. Like he's, and that is good.
That's what girls want, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's all they care about.
That's
all they care about. Right? Are we putting him number 1?
I think Isaac's number 1.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Let's leave it as it is.
I think he is as well,
Leave
you know.
Jack number 1.
You know, he's like a calm, composed like guy. You know, he's masculine features.
Dot.
Yeah,
okay,
Manny,
then
where are we
just
putting you?
uncle.
Where are we putting you then?
I think Manny deserves 5.
You know, I think he does as well. Yeah.
The battle between me and
Let's
you,
just
Josh.
say it's like a guaranteed top 8 though for everyone. Like,
Okay,
that's
so
pretty good.
Josh, how are Josh and Ruben at the bottom?
I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
How did,
We-
how
I
did
can
we- how did
literally
we
make
get
a
here?
lasagna.
Maybe it's just, you know,
You can
We
make a
accept
lasagna.
I can literally make lasagna.
Right,
I
Ruben,
don't
what's-
accept this.
What's a comeback?
wasn't my comeback to lasagna.
Yeah.
I will vax the house every day of my life.
I'll do that as well.
You do that as well. I'll make the best bolognese you've ever tasted.
I make lasagna, which is even better.
Oh, cheese or tomato, guys?
Both.
Both.
You'll just use Dolmio, won't you?
Right, 10 more seconds. Come on, who's got the
Athletic
best bet?
ability.
I play badminton, which is so athletic.
Yeah, I play cricket 6 hours a day.
I also play cricket, but probably not as good as you. But badminton is more athletic than cricket.
It is.
What
For an hour.
will you do if your kid is like in a burning building? Quick.
Get them.
Get them. That's
I said
all that
first.
matters.
Josh got there first. Sorry.
Is that because he's got longer legs? It's discrimination.
This is one of the worst rankings I think I've ever
I've got
seen.
little legs.
Alrighty. That wraps up the ranking segment. Oh, is anyone else swapping out? Or no, we're keeping it as it is?
Yeah, I think keeping it as it is.
Okay, we're moving on to the last segment, which is questions from the viewers. So, guys, get your questions in if you want them answered. We already have a few from Instagram. So, the first one, which is from Jemima, is, what's the weirdest tea flavor you've drunk? Has anyone who drinks lots of tea?
I think the strangest tea flavour I've had, or the most unique, would have to be literally just bramble leaf tea. Because we were like, oh, it tastes like blackberries. It did not taste like blackberries. It was bitter and horrible. I don't recommend.
I mean, Earl Grey's kind of weird. But
This is quite solid. I think for a bunch of British guys, like we don't drink as much tea as we should.
Speak for yourself.
Okay.
Okay, next question from Beth. Does she count as a decent dude? In what way or how much does she count as a decent dude?
I mean, she's more than decent, right? So she's not decent, and she's not a dude either. So
She's a dudette.
So she's more than decent.
And she's
and
more than a
she's
dude.
More than a dude. Good answer. Yeah.
Wow.
We'll
Yeah,
go with
yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm happy with that.
Wow, Joel, that was powerful, man.
Oh, thank you.
Words of wisdom here, guys.
Bonds versus Barbers. Who would win in an arm wrestle battle? Let us know in the comments who you think would win.
Who's the best singer? We'll answer that one in a sec. Are we gonna have to sing?
Yeah, we've got a track.
We don't need a track.
We don't need a track going solo.
Whoa,
The mic is yours.
All in bed in Arkansas, I do love my mom and
That was brilliant.
Can anyone match that?
Some lyrics, haven't we?
What was the question?
Who's the best singer?
Oh,
The previous one was, the arm wrestle one, but and somebody said Barbers 100%. So that's pretty tough. 100%.
wow.
Is there no room in there? Yeah.
There's also a question in the chat that says, "What's your favorite book in the Bible?"
Joel.
Galatians.
Philippians.
Ephesians.
Joshua.
1 Peter probably.
Solomon says Daniel.
I actually do like Daniel, but I also really like Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, and they were written by Solomon. Okay. Who stole Manny's abs?
That would be this guy right over here.
I was just thinking that. I've seen him with his shirt off a lot this week. Like, wow.
Way
Whoa,
too
whoa, whoa,
much.
guys,
Way
decent,
too much.
decent.
Keep it PG, guys.
Keep it decent,
I
guys.
need to come on to defend myself here. Do not listen to anything these guys say about me having my shirt off.
I have no idea what they're talking about at all, by the way. No idea.
That question
And
came
what-
from Nathan, and my answer would be, I think you did, Nathan.
I think so too, to be honest.
Enough said on that. What's one thing about your parents that you are grateful for during your homeschooling, during your years of homeschooling? Who wants to answer that one?
I think I'm just grateful for how strong my mum is, and she rose 7 kids on her own.
Wow.
So that's pretty insane, and she did a pretty good job. I mean, like
Yeah.
for those guys, I don't know about.
I agree.
Okay. But yeah.
Amen, Joel. And I would say the exact same thing about my mum, really. Absolute warrior.
Dads are great too as well. Credit to dads.
Yeah, I think I'm really grateful that my parents were there, like, whenever I needed them. Like, there'd be times where they'd just take us to places like, clubs, or we'd have, we'd need, like, driving around to different places, to people's houses, that sort of thing, for parties and sports clubs. Yeah, not
Sounds
those sort of
really
clubs, like sports clubs. So like, I play a lot of sports, so they're just always very willing to sacrifice their time and what they want to do just for us, basically. And I'm like, that is a massive thing.
Yeah. Giving us the opportunity to find out different areas of what we're passionate about, whether that be sports or music or literally anything. They would give us so many opportunities to find out what we were good at, that what we enjoyed, that it was so enjoyable. And driving me around to so many different clubs. Like
Sports clubs.
just to clarify, over the last 5-6 years, they have done an insane amount of miles just driving me around to games. It is incredible.
Why? This is a big one. Why did Jesus have to die if he forgave the paralytic's sins before he went to the cross?
This one's from Roman.
Shout out to Roman for asking the hard-hitting questions.
Yeah. Let's get Manny over here.
I think Well, he did heal the paralytic, but also there was still a debt to be paid in terms of blood. No blood had been shed for us, which is the purpose that he came to fulfill. So, yeah, he still had to shed his blood, and he still had to be physically killed for us.
Yeah, and I think also he died not only for the sins of the past, but also the sins of the future, the sins of everyone that, all the sins that people commit after that. And, it was also, it was his example of sort of showing his power to if you read the context of the passage, he was talking to the Pharisees, and it was like he was showing his power. So it's important to read the context of the passage as well.
Yeah, it's the sacrifice, the perfect sacrifice that Jesus was, because he had never not sinned at all in his whole life, and so him dying for our sins, for all the sins that we had ever committed and all the sins that we'll ever commit, and yet he lived his perfect life out, and then he died for us, us sinners.
Yeah. Just to add to what I said before, the rules that God set us in the Old Testament were that sin had to be repaid with blood. So what I meant by what I said before was that there was still an outstanding debt that was a debt that had to be paid by blood. And that was the one thing that was, God made clear in the Old Testament. So, even though it's like, yeah, I guess that's it, really. There was a blood debt that had to be repaid by Jesus. And until he repaid that, the debt couldn't be removed, couldn't be paid. So, and that was outstanding the whole time, even when he was healing the paralytic.
Caden asks, what are the best baked bean brands?
Heinz.
Yeah.
Definitely
Next question.
Heinz.
Heinz.
Yeah.
Anyone?
No disagreements on that. Is it scone or scone?
Scone.
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 Oh.
No
oh my
disagreements.
goodness.
Six scones.
I've never been in a room
Oh
where
my
everybody
goodness.
says it the same.
Wait,
Like,
nah, you say scone, bro.
you have the
can't
freedom
say
to,
on the
but
fence.
it's wrong.
Scone.
You can't sit on the fence, mate.
Wait, Jack, what are you saying? Oh no.
Jack. Whatever pleases the public.
Oh, he's a wishy-washy. Definitely
Okay.
scone.
Tips on overcoming a school bully.
What does it mean to overcome a school bully? Love them back? Because by
Yeah, but
loving
what-
them back...
What if they just beat you up? How do you...
Turn the other cheek.
I think responding in the way that they're not. When somebody bullies you, they usually want to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you
exactly.
respond in love,
Yes.
that's an amazing witness to them.
Mhm.
They'll have a reality check eventually, even if it takes time. They will look back on that and they'll be like, "Oh my goodness!" Like,
Yeah, that's
Brilliant,
exactly
Joel.
what I meant when I said love them back. I mean, it's Jesus perfectly demonstrated it to us. So
I think most bullies are like really insecure, so like that's pretty much the reason they're a bully. So like I think
Mhm.
just loving them will really like shock them, I think, and like
Yeah.
make them think.
Talking about pouring coals of fire upon their heads and good
Mhm.
deeds, showing them so much love that they question why on earth they actually are acting the way they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
but that's no small task. Like it's going to be really hard to do that to somebody that, out of instincts you dislike and almost feel hatred towards them. Like why they treat me like this?
Yeah, but when you talk about being beaten up and actually being hurt, I think partly there is certainly a time and a place to like defend yourself and particularly defend other people as well. So if there is violence happening, then depending on the situation, yes, maybe you do have to be firm and you have to stand back against it. But also, like we were saying, sometimes you have to turn the other cheek, and part of being a witness to them is just, I guess, accepting that persecution, like as a form of persecution, because we know as Christians that we will be persecuted for the name of for Jesus' name, for his sake. So I guess you could see it as that. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, just talk to somebody about it. Tell somebody about it. You shouldn't be going through it alone. You're with God, but talk to him. Tell him about it. But it's so important for you not to be alone in it.
Yeah.
What's the worst film you've ever watched?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh my goodness, that's a classic childhood film for me. Oh my goodness, it is quite a fever dream film, but it is a classic.
Definitely the B movie.
You like jazz?
I think for me it has to be Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Like nothing happens in the whole movie.
But is that a reason to put it as the worst film? Is that the reason to put it as the worst film? Just
Yeah,
because
like-
not much happens. Because
Like you watch it. Is it Mockingjay Part 1 or Part 2? It's the third Hunger Games movie.
Yeah, part 1.
okay,
That's part one.
Yeah.
but
Like
there are a
like-
lot of films that have a lot of really bad stuff in them and really bad morals and things that are just not worth watching and things that you shouldn't be consuming.
Mhm. Well, in terms of in terms of that, then okay. But in terms of like movies that I would watch, my expectations were like this, and then it was just like, it's like wasted. Like I've never wasted 2 hours of my life more.
You're
than that
never
movie.
gonna get those hours back.
I didn't even watch it all. Like, just ended
Yes.
up skipping through it
Yeah.
'cause it was so. And I do not do that with movies. So.
Fair enough. I would have to give that award to the movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh. What? Wait. Is that badly made, or as in it's things that you wouldn't want to? It's not pure and lovely.
It sort of analyzes the most immature parts of your mental aspect and mind and says that they're the best parts and promotes them, in my opinion. And it does that in a very inappropriate way also. It does have a very particular agenda, but as I say, it takes to the sort of the most immature parts and promotes them. And that's not only super weak, but that's a very bad mentality to go about.
There's a movie that I saw as a kid, a black and white movie called Doing It My Way. It is so forgettable. It's unbelievable.
I was recently with my boys back in Nottingham or Derby, and I decided, like, guys, let's go to the cinema. Let's watch a film, random film. Let's watch Long Legs, right? Okay. It was a horror film. I like horror films if they're good. Like I enjoy them, but went to the cinema, and we were like, okay, let's just bear with this. The last 10 minutes, we ended up realizing it was a satanic film. We ended up rebuking it in the cinema, and now I never get to request a film to watch ever again.
Who is the second coolest decent dude? Everyone knows that the first coolest is Josh. Of course. Who is the second coolest?
I think he was just talking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his name begins with an I.
I'm not sure is cool the right word? Yes. Okay. I guess that's settled then.
Cool encompasses a lot of things.
What is racism?
Unnecessary discrimination against a certain group of individuals.
I would say, broadly, racism is being unkind to somebody. Simple as. And I think that's the ultimate message that people should be preaching. Not to be.
Yeah, I think I would. I don't know if I would fully agree with that, but certainly I would agree that it's being unkind. For example, you can make a joke about race. You know, in fact, this can even extend to gender and stuff. You can make a joke with no unkind feelings meant, and a lot of people would jump on that and say that that's racist. And sure, you can take it as racist, but I don't think if the person meant it in an unkind way, I don't think it's it's not the easiest thing to class as racism if you didn't mean it if you meant it in a very pure and normal sense. Okay, next question. How can I be more decent? This is also from Sam.
Read your Bible.
Watch the Decent Dude podcast. I mean, what else,
That's
right?
a good one.
I'd say Sam is a pretty decent dude already, wouldn't you agree?
I'd agree.
But he
absolutely.
definitely could be more decent.
Yeah, he just needs
That's
to.
why he's not on this.
Watch all our videos and.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I'd say seek first the kingdom of heaven. So, yeah.
Yes.
That's a good
scripture.
answer. Yeah. I would say that just humbleness, because pride is like a massive thing and it leads to all sorts of sins. So just the more that you try to be humble, like the closer to being decent you're going to be, and the more that people will see you as decent as well.
The root of most things is pride, so that's what you need to tackle.
Yeah, humility. Humility.
Okay, this next question, let's get two people to answer it. If you had 1 week to spend with someone from ancient Egypt, what would you get up to? That's from Ben.
I'd probably go on one of their canoe things down the Nile, I'd say. There's like...
I agree with Josh on that one. Yeah.
Anyone else want to answer that one?
I think I'd just chill with Ramses the Great and just watch reels or something.
I would go and meet Moses and part the Red Sea with him.
That's a good one. Okay, what are the qualities you look for in a close friend? Again, that's if two people answer that one.
The qualities you look for in a close friend. So, presuming they're already close and you're looking for something else within a close friend, you're looking for certain qualities. Maybe you want to share something with them or something like that, and you want to know they've got these qualities of such. I think we touched on this earlier, but honesty is a relationship. So honesty. If you have honesty, from what I found in my personal experience, if you are speaking with absolute honesty right from your heart, they tend to open up more and quicker, and also they would open up about things they wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable sharing with a lot of other people, just because of how shallow the conversation gets, because there's a lack of sort of honesty going on. So yeah, I would say honesty is a good quality, and a quality that I think you should be looking for in a close friend.
Can I add trust into that as well? I think you have to be able to trust someone if they're a close friend. Like, how many people in the world do you actually 100% would you trust with your life? If you actually think about it for like a long time, it's not going to be everyone on this table. I'm putting it out there. It's not going to be everyone on this table. It's going to be like 2 or 3 people.
And they might not even be here. There could be other people that might not even be on this table.
I'd say sometimes people make the mistake when they class somebody as a close friend. It's a one-way relationship, and it's somebody you can vent to, somebody you can talk to and lay your problems on. It needs to be both ways. Sorry. To listen to somebody is to love them. So I think listening is such an important quality, but make sure that it goes both ways. Make sure you're listening to each other.
Joel, that is awesome, man.
Do you have to go to church if you're a Christian?
When one or two are gathered in my name, there I am amongst them. It's a good bit of scripture.
I know there's a lot of Christians who don't go to church. I don't think that's a problem with being saved. I don't think it's a salvation issue. But the Bible does tell us, do not give up meeting with one another. And I think it's really important that you meet with one another, not even just online, like literally meet with one another weekly to encourage one another, because if you skip 1 week, you're going to skip 2 weeks. And if you skip 2 weeks, suddenly your whole relationship with God, relationship with one another, it's going to be damaged, because it's so easy to lose what consistency, and we touched on discipline earlier with the warrior thing. It's really easy to lose that. If you miss like 1 day, 2 days, sometimes it can just go out the window.
I think a lot of us, we don't like to admit it, but our main source of getting the word of God, the word of God, is at church. So yeah, if that's eliminated from our lives, we end up not holding on to much. So yeah, church is great. You know, it's fellowship with fellow Christians, but also make sure that's not your only source. You know, have fellowship during the week. You know, read your Bible so that even if you do miss a week, you're not going downhill. You're still holding on. You're still, you know, receiving the word of God. And
Yeah, I would say, to me, it looks. I think the question is sort of like the wrong question, if you like, because really going to church, I believe, consistently and serving in the church is more a fruit of God's work in you already, a fruit of the Spirit, if you like. It's sort of the result of what work God's done in you, if you like. Yeah, so rather than should you go to, do you go, wait, do you have to go to church to be a Christian? I think the question should be, do you go to church if you're a Christian? And I think the answer would be yes, because I think fellowship is quite an important part in your Christian faith. To as iron sharpens iron, so brother sharpens brother. It's that fellowship that you look for often, and it's that God uses a lot in my personal experience.
Yeah, I think there's this really good verse in Hebrews 10:24-25. It says, "And let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together as it is the habit of some, but encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near." So I think that's pretty much sums up like Paul's saying, you know, we should definitely meet together, and obviously saying like he's seen people that aren't meeting together, and he's saying we should. So yeah.
Going back to what Isaac said about meeting and what you've just said now, Josh, this past year of me being in college is my first like introduction to the school environment. And if I didn't have Bible study in the fellowship with kids my age that are Christian and I know really well, I don't think I'd be here right now in this, like how happy I am, how confident I am in myself. It's having fellowship and reading the Bible, and yeah, definitely, yeah, fellowship is very key.
Good. Right, we're going to answer some questions from the chat now, and then we're going to wrap things up. So put your questions in the chat. First question is, what's your favourite Transformer? I'm going to have to say Megatron.
I have to say Optimus Prime. Or Bumblebee. Oh my goodness, bro, it's a tough question.
I'm
Sorry.
I haven't actually seen it, so I can't really comment.
Same.
I haven't seen it.
I'm going to go with Optimus Prime as well, I think.
I know that there's Optimus Prime, so I'll have to go with him. And Bumblebee, but I'm going to go with Optimus Prime.
I just think Megatron is so cool, the way like the sound he makes when he takes off, and like, yeah, it just makes it so good. Okay, next question. What is your favorite memory verse in the Bible? Is that like memorized Bible verse?
I've memorized the end of Romans 10:14. That's what I feel God spoke to me earlier this year. The end is, how shall I hear without a preacher? So that's the main one that I remember, and I will always keep with me. So that's the main one that I'll always remember.
Yeah, I would say mine is Jeremiah 29:11, which I was going through a struggling time, and that verse, stood out because God cares for our future, and God has plans for us. So leave it to Him to guide our footsteps.
I love the heavens declare the glory of God, and the skies proclaim His handiwork. I feel like that's just super cool. It reminds me when I look at the stars, because I love stargazing. Like, oh my goodness, like our God is so great. and also like that verse as well. Sorry, I'm doing two. Like my thoughts are higher than your thoughts, and so my ways are higher than your ways. That just puts me on my place, and yeah.
Amen.
I really like the verse, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be opened, because that has so much hope in it. And it's like, you know, if you have that, like, ask and it shall be given, if you have that expectation, it's basically you cannot,
faith.
yeah, faith, you cannot fail. And then to tie into that as well, steal two as well. Trust, what was I thinking of? Yeah, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he shall direct your paths. And yeah, that's just like, again, it's such an encouraging and hopeful verse that if you feel like you're not on the right path, that the Lord has got you and he will direct your paths.
I second those two, so I have 4 now. But
There's also John 3:16, which is really good.
I was going to say the same as that.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life.
Does anyone want a kitten?
Yes,
Me.
please.
Please,
If there's one going,
I'll
yeah.
take several.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe.
Should we divide them?
No. 7's an odd number, bro.
There's 8 of us now.
Whenever the cats have 9 lives.
Who's going without a kitten?
I've got
Who
two
does
cats,
not want a
so
kitten?
I want a kitten, but I've got 2 cats.
I would
Right.
have a kitten,
Jack,
but
you already
my
have
parents
cats
are
as well.
allergic.
So
Yeah.
I'll
So
take
we're
yours
animates.
and I'll take Sol's and I'll have 2 and the rest of you guys can have 1.
Lord of the Rings or Narnia, you can only pick one.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Narnia is still great, but after watching Lord of the Rings, the quality is so much better.
As much as I love like all of the different stories and stuff,
Mm.
and C.S. Lewis, Mere Christianity is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's gonna be Lord of the Rings.
In Lord of the Rings, I did notice like a few Christian things that Christians can do or would do. No, I don't think they were purposely put in there for Christians, but I noticed them as something that you can see from the Bible or whatever.
It's going to have to be Lord of the Rings for me as well. The dynamic, the amount of sort of nations, the landscape, and the people, I think is going to take it for me.
Also, the films are just like cinematography, I don't know.
Yeah.
Cinematic.
Cinematic. The cinematography is amazing.
I think when it comes to the movies, you've got 3 Lord of the Rings movies that are a combined total of 11 hours plus, versus Narnia, which is 2 hours and is it even 1 hour 52 minutes long, something like
That's
that,
like per movie, isn't it?
or 2 hours 16, I can't remember. If Narnia came up with some top quality movies of the other books, such as they've done Prince Caspian, and that's kind of enough. The Silver Chair, one of my
Yeah,
favorite
and
books.
the last one, I really want to see them.
If they did the Voyage of the Dawn Treader properly, because they didn't do it very well,
It was still good though.
I
was
thought it was good.
That was good.
not compared to the book. If they did
Okay,
the
yeah,
last
yeah,
battle
fair enough.
well, the last battle is an insane book. Like if they did that well, that would be like I'd be able, I might be able to say Narnia, but they haven't, not yet. So
And
I'm
if
gonna
they
have,
made it,
I'm gonna
like,
have to say
so much
for the
longer.
movies, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and Peter Jackson made them like repeat their lines like 30 times for
Yeah.
each
Wow.
take.
And he had a scene in each movie
Yeah.
as well.
He knew how he wanted it, and it was perfect.
Will Ross feature on the Decent Dudes?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully soon. I mean, he probably wouldn't like it though, right? 'Cause,
Maybe
love
one
it.
day.
like, he wouldn't have the
He'll love all the
patience, I don't
attention.
think.
We should put a cushion on the table and he will just sleep on the cushion.
That's a shout, actually. It might.
That is, yeah. I mean, he deserves it.
Yeah.
He does. Every bit of it. Can someone please hug Soul? Oh.
I was waiting for that one.
Is it weird to have other people without you in your profile picture?
No.
Kind of.
Yes.
It kind of is.
Yeah, they'll be trying to figure out which one's you as well. If there's a couple, and you're like, hold on.
Yes, I would say it's more strange than weird.
Unusual.
Unusual.
Misleading.
Misleading.
Mythical.
Catfishing.
Actually, yeah, sorry, I misread that. I thought it said other people with you.
Yeah.
I misread that.
Is Roman Jurg going to be a guest star?
Oh, please.
Oh my days.
Is he decent?
Yes, I think he should be.
Is he decent?
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
I mean, I think it would be a blessing.
Roman, you got to come over here.
Roman.
You
When?
listening, Roman?
There's an interesting question here involving fruit. which which one of you are more likely to choke on a grape or cherry?
I'm thinking, because we've been messing around with throwing marshmallows and stuff into people's mouths.
True.
So depending, even if we throw ourselves up into the air and try to catch it, who would be most likely to throw it up and catch it in their mouth and choke?
I think Ruben's pretty accident prone. Isn't
Yeah,
he?
I would agree.
I think
I would
I
agree
agree
with
with
that.
that.
Yeah.
I think we'll
I'll
agree
take
that
the hit of the
Ruben's going to
grape.
choke
I'll
first.
take the hit of the grape.
Yeah. I have a question through WhatsApp as well. It's quite a big one. If self-confidence is good but arrogance is bad, how do you cultivate one while avoiding the other? Ask it again. If self-confidence is good but arrogance is bad, this is a pride issue. How do you cultivate one while avoiding the other?
Knowing we have weaknesses and trying to cultivate those weaknesses into strengths is, I think, the biggest area of improvement. Because when you're self-confident, you know you have problems, you know you have issues, and you're trying to improve them. When you're arrogant, you think you're always right, you never have any problems, and so you don't see any issues you actually need to improve in yourself.
Yeah, I think it's really a question of identity, because with arrogance, the sin about that is that you're putting yourself up there before God. You're basically saying, I've done this on my own, so I'm a great person, look at me. And confidence is knowing who you are in God, true confidence. So you can build your identity and know your identity in God, and that gives you a confidence. But that doesn't, you're not putting yourself up there when you're doing that, so it's not arrogance. So it's how you sort of define your own identity and where your own value comes from. And if you know it comes from God and not anything you've done or not anything that you deserve, then you won't find yourself building up your own arrogance. Whereas if you take God away and try to find your own identity in what you've done or anything that you deserve or any credit that you've gained for yourself, then that's arrogance. It's pride. So that's the important thing. It's knowing who you are because of God.
Yeah. I think this
How
is
God
something-
sees you. How
this
God
is-
sees you.
This is definitely something I've struggled with, because I used to be very proud of my self-confidence. So, yeah, and I think I used to confuse the two quite a bit, and also, I think other people used to see it, and I couldn't see it, and that would sometimes get me, and I would, so there's definitely you definitely need to distinguish them.
Yes.
And understand which is which.
I'd always say that confidence and arrogance are kind of the opposite almost, because with arrogance you want attention from people, so you're almost not confident because you're like seeking the praise and validation of others, which is not very confident, I'd say. So
Yeah, arrogance is like self-seeking, whereas confidence is just being. You can be like quietly confident of yourself or of other people. It's not necessarily about you. Arrogance is quite, like you can be arrogant about anything, and it's probably not a good thing, basically. Right, we'll have a few more questions, then we'll finish. If you don't go to church, do you think you're not really a Christian? I would say with that, like again, we touched on this. It's not a salvation issue if you don't go to church, but you've got to ask yourself, are you going to grow if you don't go to church? And being a Christian is being a follower of Christ. So are you following Christ if you're not going to church? Is that following Christ? Like that, you've got to ask yourself that question. I would suggest that if you're a Christian, you would want to go to a church. Like you should be looking for that.
Yeah, I'd say it's if you're a Christian, that's the fruit of it, isn't it? It's wanting to go and socialize with other Christians. It's wanting to sharpen yourself, and it's wanting to ultimately serve God.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time that takes place in a church
Yeah.
and amongst other people.
Yeah, I think fellowship is the important word, which is, Josh read out the perfect verse for it from Hebrews 12. But I think if you're not getting fellowship, having regular fellowship, then that really, you'll be really missing something, because God makes it very clear in His Word that we are made to be in fellowship with one another, and that's how we're supposed to build each other up. If we're not meeting together frequently in fellowship, then how are we supposed to be one body in Christ? How are we supposed to be united if we're not meeting together? And that is the best, that is the ultimate, the most, like the optimum, that's the word I'm looking for. It's the optimum way for us to grow, is to be united in body and spirit. That's what it says in Ephesians, I think. So yeah, and that's what we get from church. Church is our fellowship. So, yeah.
I just got a message from Dad saying Ross is snoring. He's missing us apparently.
Have to give him some cuddles when we get back.
We have a question from Nathan Taylor saying, is gaming bad? And he wants a debate between me and Ruben.
Okay, right. 30 seconds, go.
Very short debate. Gaming isn't necessarily bad, but I think it's a filler time. It's a time where you necessarily aren't doing the most productive things. You could definitely do more productive things in that time other than spending time gaming. So like reading your Bible, learning knowledge, gaining wisdom, spending time with the Lord. All these things are things you could be doing instead of gaming. So gaming isn't necessarily bad. It's just a weaker source of learning or wisdom.
I'd agree with Ruben, and then there's also the element that you can socialize. Like, we can play with your friends and you can have fun. But also at the same time, you can spread God's word in the game. So while you're playing, you're playing with a random person, and you can just talk to them about Jesus as you're playing. And then there's the funness of playing with your friends as well. So it is 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Who's the best clerk other than Jack or Jesse? That comes from Holly. I think the answer is Holly. It's you. It has to be.
You get that prize.
Well, you asked the question, and you're the one watching the Decent Dudes podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's pretty good.
Ethan, you need to watch your back, bro. Look behind you. No? There was, yeah.
That
Giant
actually was the
spider
comment as well.
Josh, what's your little cow's name?
Does he even have a name?
There we go.
What's his name?
I'd say it's the decent cow.
That works.
Does that work?
Yeah, that works. The
There's not
decent
really any
cow.
other name for
Decent
it.
Dave.
Decent Dave.
Dave.
Decent Dave.
Decent
Decent
Dave.
Dave. There we go.
Decent
Decent Dave
Dave.
cow.
All right.
Uh,
Who's going to Big Church Festival?
should be.
Joel is. I should be.
Yeah. 3 decent dudes.
I might go out and just save up some money though.
Hopefully.
hopefully.
4 or 5 decent dudes.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, my guy. We
I'm
have a
not coming
question.
then.
Ooh.
What's
well,
your favourite worship songs?
So many good questions. Right, we're gonna do like 5 more questions, like
Yeah.
max.
I love Sinking Deep by Hillsong.
Ooh.
What was I meant to say? Why? It's a banging tune.
Gratitude. That's why praise. And then there's a few by Elevation Rhythm, which are really like upbeat and I can just listen to on the coach. But
This is going to sound very traditional. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound.
that's an incredible song.
There's a song that's, again, kind of traditional, kind of old-fashioned, but it's my granddad's favourite, and it's very challenging. It's called Washed by the Blood of the Lamb. I find that one always challenges me and always makes me seek the Lord more.
So many good songs. It's hard to pick one.
I really like the hymn "On Christ the Solid Rock I Stand." That's got banging words.
You can't really go wrong with any worship song. Any worship song I can get behind pretty much.
I really like "The Lord Is My Salvation." That's a really good one.
I literally can't think of any. Like, there's just too many. And
My
they're all good,
Lighthouse
so
is an
I
absolute banger.
literally can't decide on one. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Also love "Is He Worthy." "Is He Worthy" is so good, so eye-opening. He is. Amen.
Okay, Kaylane says hair up or hair down, and I'm gonna start it off, and I'm gonna say it depends on your hairline, bro.
Receding or not.
Depends on your hair as well.
With Ruben, it's definitely hair down, right?
I agree with that. 100%.
But with Josh, it's hair up.
Hair up.
Hair up for me. There was a phase where I wanted to have hair down, and I did for a bit, but I'm definitely hair up.
So what if you have curly hair?
Yeah. What
Yeah,
if
a
you
lot
have
depends
curly
on the
hair?
shape of your face.
Do you let it just sort of dribble down your hair like Jack, or
Golden
down your forehead?
locks.
I also think it's underrated to have your hair to the side. If it's of some length, to have your hair to the side, like Aragorn vibes, you know, like that looks good. If it's done right, it has to be done right. It's easy to go wrong with doing it to the side.
Also, the structural integrity of our little cloth here was also questioned before. And I'd like to say,
Who would dare do that?
I'd like to say, yeah, we literally just got it before we went on live, so it's nothing special.
You should be appreciating the fact that we have a cloth.
We didn't have one before, so you should be very happy
You'd have
that
to
we've
see
even
our
got one.
feet.
Yeah, be thankful you've not got the alternative. Gotta pay to see that.
Who's the worst singer?
Who is the worst
Maybe we
singer?
should
Oh
have a
my
vote.
god.
Should have a vote.
Should we test it out?
Yeah, put on a song,
Keep in mind, I
Put on a
have
song.
got a
Put on a song.
I have got an account, so I've got an artist account on Spotify.
Oh, play a song.
Yeah.
You sing, you can sing.
I'm not saying that at all.
I don't think we need to go there for this question.
That would be quite funny.
It would be funny.
We probably don't have time, right?
Shall we? Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder.
They can't make out any voices. It's pointless.
All go at the same time. No point.
We all sound the same.
Okay. Any more questions? Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. 40 people in chat and only 27 likes.
shocking.
Come on,
That
guys.
is
That is shocking.
Bro.
7 of those are O's.
Come on,
We like them
guys.
7
Yeah,
times.
exactly.
Come on,
Guys.
guys.
We worked hard for you.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Shocking.
We're using a church building for you guys. Come on.
Yeah.
That like count is going to go up to 30 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We've got to wait for the delay.
24. Come on, guys.
Got to wait for the delay.
20.
Yeah, the delay.
26. Come on, guys.
We've gone down to 38 viewers.
Oh, Jesse says, what do you guys think about Reform? As in Reform UK?
Ooh.
Oh, trust him to bring that in.
Not at all, no.
As I worked for them, it's an interesting topic.
Yes.
Right, guys,
Generally?
let's get to
we're not going
30. We're on 28.
Yeah, come on.
Oh. We
29.
have another one that says rate
29.
each other's outfits.
Ooh. Right, last one.
Did we not already
Yeah,
do
it's-
that?
we
I
gotta
think we
finish
kind of
No,
did
that was
that.
different.
No, we
definitely
rated our
sort of did
style
that.
outfits at the moment.
outfits.
Should we
Okay.
go down?
Let's let's go around quick. Jack, what are you thinking? For
I'm gonna say say Jack's like
okay,
a
we'll do Jack first then.
8.7.
6,
8.7. It's a nice
8.7?
jacket and the
Okay.
belt looks good.
8.7.
Thank you, Zod. Thank you.
Nice Vans, good set of jeans. Not a bad necklace, to be fair. I'd give it a solid 7.6.
I'm thinking 6. I think you could have tried harder. I'm being savage here.
I wanted to look.
He's being humble.
Youth preacher, as Isaac said.
Okay.
Favorite sports, cricket, mate.
Football.
At the moment, it's hockey because it's what I do for a
Skylar
living.
the cat, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Jack, 10 out of 10.
I got an 8 out of 10. I'll take that. Except where's the capital S?
Rubes, 9 out of 10. Beat yourself.
I mean, it's clean. It's clean.
Favorite clothing brand?
Primark.
Yeah.
Primark.
This is from
Primark.
This is from Primark.
Mine's Nika.
No, it's really not.
We all know that Isaac's is Farah and Izod.
Boss.
Hugo Boss.
I'm gonna hop on. I'm gonna say my favorite clothing brand is Superdry.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good.
I agree with that. That's a good one.
My favourite clothing brand has to be the British Army.
Oh. Isaac, you got an 8 out of 10.
I'll take it. Whoever said that?
Joyce, you got a 5. Is that including the hair
I
or
don't
just the
appreciate
outfit?
just a good hoodie when they see one. That's what I think. This is not Primark, by the way.
Okay, Harvey, we already did the favourite memory verse in the Bible. Manny, 8 out of 10.
What's that for?
Drip.
Is that for outfits?
Drip.
Well, thank you.
There's a very deep question in chat. Do we have
I'll
time
take the
to answer it?
compliment.
Let's answer it and then
Okay.
wrap things up.
One last question. What unique quality? Okay, we have one last question in chat. The question is, what unique qualities do you look for in a partner?
Unique.
Unique is
How do you answer that?
Yeah.
Unique qualities.
It's really
I
hard.
guess everyone's unique in their own way.
Everyone's different.
So I wouldn't know until I met them.
So boring.
It's not. It's very indecent.
I'd say the ability to spot and identify someone not being 100% and being able to bring up a conversation about it and being able to talk deeply about it and hold it to the point of being comforting. Yeah.
someone who is constantly sharing the joy of the Lord. So when you look at them, you see the Lord. I think that is a massive quality
100%.
that isn't necessarily unique, but it is incredible.
Let's pray it's not unique.
I was at a party once, and there was a situation with somebody that had a bit too much alcohol, and I was sort of taking care of them with somebody, and they went and locked themselves in the bathroom, and the person I was with, the girl I was with, immediately said, "Let's pray," and I was like, "Oh my goodness."
Yes.
That's a big one. That's a big one. Praying in real life scenarios.
Yeah.
When your first thing to do is to go and pray. That's the first thing you think of. Yeah.
Bible
Yeah.
studies with whoever it is, that like being able to go deep into a Bible study is
I would say unique quality would be someone who knows you, someone who knows you better than anyone else. And I guess that comes over time, but someone who, you don't even have to necessarily communicate stuff with them and they just already know. like what you need. Yes, it is. It's an acquired quality.
Matthew Clark says so many noobs at one table.
Can't lie with you there, Matthew. I can't lie.
I think we're going to have to end on that, Matthew.
Can I just give a shout out to Nathaniel and Benj for setting the whole setup up before?
You
Yeah.
guys want to come out and just show your faces?
come on,
Come
guys.
on, camera.
Come on, guys.
Come up front.
We'll get everyone in one shot here. Let's get everyone in the shot. Come on, Benj, all the way in. Come on, Benj. All the way in. Yeah, screenshot while you can. These guys worked very hard for like. We love you guys. These guys spent like 2.5 hours before this, setting all the camera stuff up, sound stuff up. You know, the lighting, basically getting everything ready for us.
The
So-
tablecloth.
We also did stuff, but
I think there are some behind the
They
scenes
most of
videos that
Yeah.
will be
Oh,
sent
yeah,
somewhere.
we will have
so
some
you can
behind the
see
There's
the
one
work
on
that was
mine
put
and
in.
Ethan's channel, which you need to go and check out.
Also, there's some more content coming at some point. So
At
make sure you
some
ring the
point.
bell. And finally, we have a giveaway.
Yes. Who got it right? Who spent the most money last night at dinner? Tea.
So, what was the
we need to
giveaway
have a look at
question?
the guesses.
That was the question.
The giveaway question
spent the
was who
most
spent the
money?
most. Yes.
Yeah.
Did anyone get that right?
Yes. On the back.
Who spent the most? Who spent the
Small.
most at dinner yesterday of all the decent dudes?
If you haven't already put a name in chat, drop one in there.
Just redo your answer down below so we actually can see which one.
Yeah, I just checked.
Did anyone
A
already
couple of
guess
people
it?
already guessed earlier, but I don't know if anyone got it.
Oh, okay.
If you've already guessed, you'll have to do it again, I'm afraid, because we've lost your guess.
Yeah. And what are we winning?
No. It's a sign.
Joel, do you want to bring it over?
No,
Should we all sign it, guys? Should we all sign it?
Yeah,
It is.
So right here, we have
We have.
a Hot Wheels car. Right, calm down,
Calm down, guys. Calm down.
Signed by all of us.
Yeah. The packaging, not the actual car.
Eric
So beautiful.
Batterley says, Joel, come on, it has to be.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So last night we went to Weatherspoons and we ordered a meal, but they came at like different times. So Joel has a few, gets a meal and he gets another one, and then this lady, she starts bringing like one meal in and it's like, oh, Joel's like, oh yeah, that's mine. So gives it to Joel, and he orders the dessert as well. So she thinks, yep, that's mine. And then Ruben orders the dessert, so she comes in with the dessert. It's like, and Joel's like, yep, that's mine. And so she just keeps bringing this food to Joel, and we're all sat there, and it's like Joel's eating all this food. It was crazy.
So the correct answer is, therefore, you guessed it, Joel.
Joel.
Joel
Joel.
Thwaite.
So-
Joel Thwaite.
What was the amount?
Nationwide, it's taken a while.
Well done, Eric.
Yeah, shout out to you, bro.
You win the Hot
You know
Wheels
Joel
car.
too well.
£25.60.
That's one meal. One
That's-
evening.
He went burger, pudding, pizza, and more pudding.
And like 2 drinks as well.
And salad, and like
2 portions
4
of
drinks.
chips, a burger, a pizza, a pudding, 4 drinks, sorry. And
Which he drank every single one.
Explains why I kept going off to the
Except
toilet.
mine and Joel's drinks got mixed up, so he had full fat and I had diet. Guys, we're 3 subscribers away from 100.
Get it live on
Make sure you
stream.
subscribe. Let's get to 100 before we
On
end. Come on,
stream.
guys.
Right now, hit that.
Right now.
3 more
subscribe button.
subscribers.
3
dude.
subscribers away. Come on.
Come on, guys. We really
Come on. There's
appreciate
definitely
that.
3 of you not subscribed.
Please
I
do.
know it.
Definitely.
I know it.
Come on.
Ring the bell if you've not got notifications on. Ring the bell.
3 subscribers. It's easy, that. Come on.
Just one click.
It's really not that hard.
We've
One
hit
button.
36 likes as well.
Let's go.
That's more like it.
Guys, I'm going to do a Be Real.
99 subscribers, guys. Come on, one more, one more. All right, on that note, we are going to end. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for being guests. So everyone that was a guest.
Thanks for inviting
Do you guys
us.
want to be in the Be Real?
Yeah, come on.
Let's do a Be Real.
Let's get you all in. Everyone pose on the other side. Everyone pose on the other side. Oops, sorry.
All right, thank you guys.